Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very exciting video for you. I'm going to be talking about my most anticipated releases for the rest of the year, and I have a couple that actually come out in 2020, and I'll briefly mention those as well. But basically I'm going to give you the title and the author, when it's expected to release, and a little blurb about each book. I'll be popping in pictures to show you what the cover looks like. Two of the ones that are expected in 2020 do not have cover reveals yet, so obviously there won't be pictures for those, but I'm really excited about all of these, and I think there's a little something here for everybody. I didn't actually do too much research. I only have books for July, August, September, and October, and I don't have any in November and December that I'm actually anticipating that I know of. Of course, I always put out these videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that book. The first one is The Need by Helen Phillips, and it is supposed to release on the 9th of this month. And the little blurb I have here about it is that the mother, Molly, is at home alone with her two young children where she hears footsteps in the living room. And she kind of brushes it off like, oh, I'm not hearing anything. But then suddenly Molly finds herself face to face with an intruder who knows far too much about her and her family. So this seems like it's going to be a really good domestic thriller. The next one I'm really excited about, and I have pre-ordered this, but I have been hearing mixed reviews about it, is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. And this comes out on July 9th as well. And this is a feminist Lord of the Flies about three best friends living in quarantine at their island boarding school. So feminist, Lord of the Flies, boarding school, and the cover, you guys, definitely probably one of my favorite covers of the year. First one I have is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I have a very love-hate relationship with Ruth Ware. Some are kind of like average, middle of the road. Some I have liked more than others. But The Turn of the Key comes out on August 6th. And when the main character stumbles across an ad, she's looking for something else completely, but it seems like too good an opportunity to miss a live-in nannying post with a staggering generous salary. When Rowan Kane arrives at Heather Bray House, she is smitten by the luxurious smart home fitted out with all modern conveniences by the beautiful Scottish Highlands and by this picture-perfect family. What she doesn't know is that she's stepping into a nightmare, one that will end with a child dead and herself in prison awaiting trial for murder. So another thriller book that I'm really looking forward to. The next one just sounds so cute and adorable, but also like feminist as well. It's Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center, and this one comes out on August 13th. And this is about our main character, Cassie, who was one of the only female firefighters in her Texas firehouse. She's seen her fair share of them. She's a total pro at other people's tragedies, but when her estranged and ailing mother asks her to give up her whole life and move to Boston, she's suddenly in an emergency of her own. So now she's working at this Boston firehouse that's totally different from her old job. I think there's like a rookie there that she kind of starts falling in love with, but she doesn't want to be seen as too girly or not fit for the job of a firefighter. And then her old chief's voice is always in her head like, don't date a firefighter. So she's kind of balancing like, do I go for it? Do I not? And coming up on August 26th, The Woman in the Park by Teresa Sorkin and Tulin Holmquist. When Manhattanite Sarah Rock meets a mysterious and handsome stranger in the park, she is drawn to him. Sarah wants to get away from her daily routine, her cheating husband and his crazy mistress, her frequent sessions with her heartless therapist, and her moody children. Her life begins to unravel when a woman from the park goes missing, and Sarah becomes the prime suspect in the woman's disappearance. So that just sounds crazy. It sounds like a domestic thriller, and it also reminds me of one of those B.A. Paris books that I read. Don't remember which one, but the one where she's driving through the woods and she comes across the broken down car, and then the next day she finds out that that person was murdered and it was like a friend of hers or someone she knew, and then yeah, sounds like that. So I'm really looking forward to that one. So now we're moving into the September books. Nanny by Gilly McMillan. It comes out on September 10th. When her beloved nanny Hannah left without a trace in the summer of 1988, 7-year-old Jocelyn Holt was devastated. So haunted by the loss, Jo grew up bitter and distant and eventually left her parents in Lake Hall, their fated aristocratic home behind. So 30 years later, Jo returns to the house and is forced to confront her troubled relationship with her mother. But when human remains are accidentally uncovered in a lake on the estate, Jo begins to question everything she thought she knew. So it's one of those things like something happened in the childhood, and then 30 years later, like we're going back to find out like what happened and who done it and stuff like that. So the next one, I can't believe that I haven't heard about sooner, but Margaret Atwood is releasing The Testaments, which comes out on September 10th as well. And basically the little blurb that I have here is that when the van door slammed on Offred's future at the end of The Handmaid's Tale, readers had no way of telling what lay ahead for her: freedom, prison, or death. With The Testaments, the wait is over. I absolutely love Margaret Atwood's writing. It reminds me a lot of Lois Lowry, and it's straight and to the point. I did read The Handmaid's Tale earlier this year. I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to, just because I think you kind of have to know before going in what it's about, because it doesn't really tell you much about what it's about until you're halfway through the book and you don't even kind of know what's going on. But I definitely am interested in picking up this follow-up. Okay, the next one in September also comes out on September 10th, so that's going to be a pretty big release day. And this one is Frankly in Love by David Yoon, which is Nicola Yoon's husband. This is about a Korean American boy named Frank. And Frankly, so he has two names. There's Frankly, his American name, and then there's Sun Min Lee, his Korean name. No one uses his Korean name, not even his parents. Frank barely speaks any Korean. He was born and raised in Southern California. Even so, his parents still expect him to end up with a nice Korean girl, which is a problem since he's dating a girl and it's the girl of his dreams. It's Britt Means, and she's funny and nerdy like him. She makes him laugh like no one else, but she's white. As Frank falls in love for the first time, he's forced to confront the fact that while his parents sacrificed everything to raise him in the land of opportunity, their traditional expectations don't leave a lot of room for him to be a regular American teen. So I think this is going to have like important topics, some cute romance, and like hopefully meet somewhere in the middle. The first one I talked about in my mid-year book freakout tag that I was looking forward to, and that is Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. It comes out on October 1st, and I finally have a little bit more of a blurb here about it. So single mother Kate Reese is on the run, determined to improve the life for her and her son. She flees an abusive relationship in the middle of the night with Christopher at her side, her son. So together they find themselves drawn to the tight-knit community of Mill Grove, Pennsylvania. It's as far off the beaten track as they can get, just one highway in and one highway out. At first, it seems like the perfect place to finally settle down, but then Christopher vanishes. So 6 awful days. For 6 awful days, no one can like find him, and then he finally emerges from the woods at the edge of town, unharmed but not unchanged. He returns with a voice in his head only he can hear, with a mission that only he can complete: build a treehouse in the woods by Christmas, or his mother and everyone in the town will never be the same again. Sounds crazy. I originally think that Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo was supposed to release on October 1st, but then I think it got changed to October 8th because of The Imaginary Friend, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But I am looking forward to Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I want to see once and for all if it was Leigh Bardugo's writing or if it was just the Grisha trilogy, because I have a definite love-hate with her books. For the original Grisha trilogy, I really liked the first one. I rated it 4 stars, and then I think it went 2 stars and then maybe 3 stars for the trilogy. And then Six of Crows, the first time that I read it, I think I rated it 3 stars. And then it took me 3 years to read Crooked Kingdom. I just read it this year. And I rated that 4 stars, I think, and then I reread Six of Crows to read Crooked Kingdom, so I think I rated both 4 stars, I think. I'm not sure, but I did like Six of Crows on reread better than I did the first time. But this book, Ninth House, is a completely different, out of the Grishaverse story about Galaxy. Alex Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class. Raised in the Los Angeles hinterlands by a hippie mom, Alex dropped out of school early and into a world of shady drug dealer boyfriends, dead-end jobs, and much, much worse. In fact, by age 20, she is the sole survivor of a horrific, unsolved multiple homicide. Some might say she's thrown her life away, but at her hospital bed, Alex is offered a second chance to attend one of the world's most prestigious universities on a full ride. What's the catch and why her? And that's why I'm going to read it, is because I love universities with like secret organizations, and that just sounds right up my alley. The only other book this year that I have on this list is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. I've read a couple of Lisa Jewell's. I think the one that really sticks out in my head is the one where the lady finds the man on the beach and invites him into her home. But this one is called The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. It releases on October 29th, so right around Halloween time. It says, soon after her 25th birthday, Libby Jones returns home from work to find the letter she's been waiting for her entire life. She rips it open with one driving thought: I am finally going to know who I am. She soon learns not only the identity of her birth parents, but also that she is the sole inheritor of their abandoned mansion on the banks of the Thames in London's fashionable Chelsea neighborhood, worth millions. Everything in Libby's life is about to change, but what she can't possibly know is that others have been waiting for this day as well, and she is on a collision course to meet them. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know. It just sounds really good, and I do like Lisa Jewell's writing. So some of these are going to be new to me authors. Some of these are authors that I just like know and love. And the ones that I am expecting for 2020: The Dilemma by B.A. Paris, The Hiding Place by Amy Malloy, Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett, and The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang. I will probably do an updated what I'm looking forward to like at the end of this year for 2020. So I'll be talking more about these, and maybe some of the other covers will be revealed by that time. But before we go, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining me today. This marks the end of my 2-week project of posting a video every single day. So 2 weeks ago, I just started posting videos, and I had like a rush of creativity here during the summer, and I had the time to like sit down and film videos and talk to you guys about stuff that I've been wanting to talk to you about. And even though this marks the end of the continuous every single day videos, I still am going to be posting videos throughout the rest of the summer. I'm probably going to be posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so stay tuned. Hit the bell notification so you can like check in and see what I'm up to, and you're notified for all my new videos that I post. But if you haven't watched some of my other videos this past 2 weeks, I think I have a lot of good content there, and I would really like you to go back and try to watch the ones that you have missed. I will possibly, other than the Tuesday and Thursday, there will be days that I'll be posting on other days, just depending on what I have going on and my schedule. I am going out of the country the second week of August, so it's like the middle of the second week to the third week, like the 9th through the 15th, I will be out of the country. And for that reason, I don't know if I'm going to pre-record videos to post during that time, or if I'm just going to skip that time altogether and just truly like sit back and relax, enjoy my summer vacation. But again, thank you guys so much. The engagement with you guys has been amazing. I appreciate it. If you are not already, please consider subscribing to my family, liking this video, commenting down below, letting me know what has been your favorite video I have put out during these 2 weeks. Like I said, I still have a lot of exciting content to come, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye!